Good morning, friends. Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday, September 15th. Uh, Today is, for those in the accounting world, tax day for S corporate filings and state extension filings. I want to share this moment that I am in my morning contemplation. Okay. This morning I'm meditating on a few things. But the theme that's come up, I have a continuation. Side note, I have a continuation from yesterday about worth. So I'm going to have to remember to bookmark that and come back to. But this morning, my contemplation is around abundance. Abundance, worth, enough, excess, accumulation, worth. I am in a very privileged moment right now. I am able to take a little bit of time to breathe. To let all of the things that have happened in the last 6+ years actually settle in and integrate, which I have been actively doing. As soon as I finally understood what integration meant, another bookmark to talk about. But this morning, my contemplation is on worth and abundance, enough, excess, accumulation. When I finally learned, thank you, Susan Grace, how to reach for a feeling, a way of being, without the attachment of what that looks like. Okay? These brief moments when I'm actually able to feel it, experience it, embody it, then I get a moment and a glimpse of the picture making sense and the other pieces crumbling. So I'm going to share as this is coming through. In this world we have created by both intention and non-intention of each of us, there are certain things that we have been taught, conditioned to reach for, to be, right? And my first contemplation that I've been working on the past few days was like, why, right? What is it? What is it? And the first is survival. And the second is worth. And worth is tied to acceptance, which is tied to abandonment, rejection, which is tied to survival. So we want these things so one, we can survive, our children can survive, we can thrive, and also so we can be accepted. And I guess third is to be happy, right? Content, at peace, and surrounded and filled with love. Okay. So many are so busy surviving right? Just barely surviving to even contemplate the other things. And part of our survival is acceptance from the tribe. So when I was able to finally stop judging myself and all of the mistakes and wrong turns or choices that I've made in life, I am able to see the greater board of it all. And these pinnacles of what it is that we need to reach in order to attain these things, it's always just out of reach. It's always just out of reach. And what I found is going back to abundance, excess, enough, self-worth. And taking away all of these different layers of thoughts and beliefs and wants. And I started going towards a feeling. Everything started shifting, right? So I'm in this space a space of great privilege, where I have a lot of space and a lot of room to breathe, so I can take all of these lessons and kind of distill them into my being and consciousness. What I'm finding is the essence of what it is, if we can release what it looks like and follow the feeling, what we'd find is it's quite simple. It's birds singing. It's the wind moving. It's the life. It's the bugs. It's the community. It's just being seen and just being. And so there are two pools, right? There are these pools of survival. Like, I need to make this amount of money and I have to do, all of 6 figures and blah, blah, blah. Like, do we? Do we? Here's where my privilege lies, is as more people are starting to recognize this base level of survival is getting further and further and further out of reach. So we have to give more and more and more and more just to survive. So being in a place where my baseline expenses it couldn't get any lower, thankfully, because of partnership and careful planning and because of all of these things coming together, we're thankfully in this space. But it makes me recognize how much it's needed for us all. Let's talk about worth. Worth. The highest value, like where I make the most dollars, is where I have in my prior life experiences have made the most dollars. I've had to sell the biggest pieces of myself in order to get them. Everything comes at a price. Everything comes at a cost. I'm not saying everybody who exists, because right now we need all of us, right? We need people who have been able to tap out. We need people who have to stay in. I mean, we are in this transition in between, right? Not everyone is meant to leave their corporate world of what they need to do to feed their family. I understand that. We're in a weird place. We also are in a space where it's so imperative for us to recognize what our privileges are. What is worth giving up in order to attain something greater? The things that keep this world running are all of those lives and those peoples and those faces in the background that nobody ever sees or notices or acknowledges. Their existence is erased. Just like fucking slavery that built this country, just like the indigenous, the native, the original peoples who settle, who know this land, it's erased. Do you think all of this magically appears? The streets magically get clean, your dishes in the restaurant, the freaking it's not a world of magic. It is a world of labor. And those people that are working to create this world of magic for you deserve life. Just as worthy. More than valuable. So for me, as I contemplate excess, worth, enough, accumulation, what are we willing to give up so we all have a chance at living, thriving? Because let me tell you something. Being in this space where I have worn the same outfit for at least 3 days, I bought this plant because it was injured, so I got it on sale for $1.90, or I think $2.99. You know, like I've got these transplants that have been that was gifted to me from Brent next door. Like, the gate was an afternoon where I both learned how to build, and a wonderful lesson in partnership and working together and building. But I had to give up everything to have this moment, to create this life, to walk in a different way of being. And so by reaching for a feeling, releasing the rest. Now, of course, do I have nagging fear every freaking moment? Yeah. I'm going against everything I was ever taught. Do I trust that I will be okay no matter what? Yes. Because I trust myself. Because I trust my people. Because I trust my spirit. Because I trust spirit. None of it has proved me wrong yet. So, if I can let go of the attachment of how things should look, go for the feeling of how I want to exist in this world, I can do it, while also being aware of everything that's out there, doing everything I can to change that, while also walking a new walk and showing and being a new being. All we see is manufactured bullshit that we are trying to attain. What happens when we just start being real? That's my thoughts for this Tuesday. Or what is today? Wednesday. Yeah, September 15th. No, today's Thursday. Jesus, what is time? Have a good weekend.